Introducing Easy Trade Builder, a powerful new analysis software that lets you find and analyze trades in the time it takes to open your email. My name is Ron Chandler, and I've been trading options for over 14 years now. And throughout that time, I've tried many different software analysis programs designed to help me with my trading. But no matter what program I used, each one still required that I follow the same process that I was using 14 years ago. First, I have to search the universe of stocks to find the ones that have a good setup. After I find those, I've got to see which one of those actually have options I can trade. Once I've narrowed that down, I have to then go through the option chains to see if there's a good option trade available. Very often, I end up with a lot of false positive results, and I end up spending hours in front of the computer without any successful trades to be found. But that process is no longer required thanks to Easy Trade. Now, you can access the tools anywhere and do your analysis when it's convenient for you, using a computer or any mobile device. What makes Easy Trade so unique is the fact that they've turned the entire analysis process on its head. Instead of looking for stocks, Easy Trade starts by searching the universe of options that have the best trading combinations. They use filters that cannot be applied to the underlying, so they are strictly starting with an option trade and looking for the best one. The analysis is done automatically. You don't have to constantly be clicking and switching, looking for the next possible combination. And the results are a complete option trade delivered to your mobile device or your computer, ready to be put on with your broker. And what's best of all is that these trades are based on a personalized system that you create using an easy 4-step process. In addition, this system is flexible, so you can make quick adjustments as market conditions change. To get started, you first select which option strategies you like to trade. Easy Trade allows you to create different filtering criteria for each specific strategy, using criteria that is both easy to understand and known to yield consistent results under all types of market conditions. In this example, which is a call credit spread, the first criteria we will choose is the amount of money or minimum acceptable credit that you're willing to sell the call spread for. It is based on the width of the spread that you're going to sell. This criteria will define your risk-reward profile for using this strategy. The next criteria is probability. Now, most professional traders incorporate probability analysis in their trading by using special tools to calculate probability based on generic formulas. Easy Trade Builder takes probability analysis one step further by building filtering criteria based on a comparison of 3 different probabilities. The first one is theoretical, which uses a one-size-fits-all formula to calculate probability, assuming the normal distribution for all the different stocks or underlying. This is calculated from the actual price of the option. Historical probability takes into consideration the specificity of each underlying's historical behavior, looking at the actual moves of the stock or underlying. And finally, Easy Trade's proprietary stress test probability, which uses the magnitude of historical moves and represents the capability of the underlying to perform certain moves without taking into consideration any direction. We're going to discuss more about the stress test probability in a couple minutes. The next filter criteria is the expected profit or loss based on the theoretical probability, historical probability, or both. The search sequence allows you to choose how the trade signals are sorted. Now, typically we would sort by the highest probability of profit. However, you may choose other criteria to meet your individual needs. Depending on the strategy that you're intending to use, you can choose to screen for a volatility skew to look for options that are either underpriced or overpriced relative to their recent history. You can also use this filter to look for stocks that are likely to get quiet or explosive. Ideas like this are going to be discussed in upcoming videos available at easytrade.com. This last filter, Volatility Percentile, allows you to search for options that are cheap or expensive relative to their historical readings, back as far as 400 days. After you choose your filter criteria, click on Trade Search. The results will appear in backtest mode, showing you the actual trade, the credit you took in, the theoretical probability of profit, and the actual profit or loss if the trade had been held to expiration. Now, looking at the profit column, we can see that the initial filter criteria we used did not give us really good results. And there's a reason for that. We actually created this example to allow us to demonstrate the advantage that the stress test probability gives you versus the commonly used break-even probability, which is calculated based on a one-size-fits-all formula. Notice how the parameters that we picked resulted in pretty good probability of profit for each trade. In fact, if we look at Baidu, the probability was over 79%. Now, if your software shows that the trade would give you an almost 80% probability of success, many people would take that trade. And if it was held until expiration, it would have resulted in a pretty big loss. Wouldn't you, at that moment, question the validity of the probability the software calculated, even if it was based on generally accepted market wisdom? Fortunately, EasyTrade offers a number of different reports that allow for a much more in-depth analysis of the actual trade. First, we can look at a complete backtest analysis of the trade to see how it actually performed day by day. You can see the top half of the graph is the actual price movement of the stock in relation to the option strikes. The bottom half shows the pricing of both option positions as well as the total profit or loss of the trade. So we can see that for a substantial period of time, the trade was indeed profitable, even when the stock started to run up. But if we left the trade on too long, hoping to squeeze out every last penny, the trade ends up losing money. To see how this happens, we can then look at a price chart of the stock versus volatility, going all the way back to 2006. Here we see that since 2011, stock moved quite violently in both directions. However, the overall trend has been down. Now, look at the end of the graph, approaching April 19th. Here we're seeing a period of consolidation. And the implied volatility being low, the option prices are indicating that the expectation was that the stock would continue to trade in a narrow channel going into expiration. However, using Easy Trade Builder's probability calculations, we'll see a different story. Looking at the risk graph of the trade at expiration, we see in the lower half of the graph a comparison of the theoretical probability of the trade breaking even versus EasyTrade's proprietary stress test. So, even though the market was pricing in a 79% probability that you could break even on this trade, the stress test was showing only a 62% chance. If we then look at the stress test over a 4-year period, we see that this trade had only a 57% chance of breaking even. Now, if you knew in advance that based on the movement of the stock, you would have just slightly better than a coin flip chance of success, would you have put this trade on? Or would you at least have managed it differently? Let's look at one more example. This time we'll use a put credit spread, and we'll make the filter criteria very simple. All we're going to do is ensure that the 1-year stress test probability is higher than the theoretical probability. We're also going to make sure that the historical estimated profit and loss is greater than the theoretical estimated profit and loss. Now, just using these two simple criteria, we see that all 10 trades end up being profitable. A lot of option educators will compare probability-based trading with gambling in the casino. In other words, if you execute many trades with probability always in your favor, the results overall will be positive, as you have become the house versus the client. That's true to a certain extent. For example, casinos will set their slot machines to a winning probability using random number generators that are based on the normal distribution. This makes their calculation of probability very accurate and allows them to consistently make a profit, even though every now and then you'll see somebody win big. In option trading, the generally accepted calculation of probability has a lot of problems. A one-size-fits-all formula to calculate probability based on normal distributions and current implied volatility in most cases will not adequately reflect reality. If you look at the gross movement of all stocks, then it might appear to be close to normal. But individual stocks have individual statistical behaviors, and often they are far from a normal distribution. Now, in my opinion, that's the main reason why a lot of traders who try to use probability-based trading don't always get good results. If you're going to use probability to try to get the same results as a casino, you have to be sure that the way you calculate probability is reflecting statistical reality. This is the advantage that easy trade probability analysis provides, and this is a competitive advantage that our customers enjoy in the market. So now, going back to our system development process, we would go back and adjust our parameters, as we just showed you, until we are getting acceptable success rates not only on one particular date, but also under different market conditions and for the different strategies you use. Once you've completed this process and you have your filter criteria locked down for each strategy, you're ready to move to the next step. EasyTrade offers you the ability to run a personalized track record report that allows you to establish the expectancy of your trading system by strategy. The report provides you with a daily backtest over several years. Every day, the track record analysis takes your signals and tracks them to expiration. The analysis report details include the start and end date, with the end date being expiration of the options in the trade, the credit you took in, and 2 different profit results. The first is your best profit and loss, and this is based on taking each trade off at its maximum profit during the entire length of the trade. Now, while this is unrealistic in reality, because we never know when the best profit was until after the trade expires, it does give us some information we can use to compare. The report also gives you the result if you put the trade on and held it to expiration. In other words, if you had placed it and forgot about it. At the end of each year, you are provided a summary of the results for that year as shown in the green shaded row. At the beginning of the next year, the account is reset to the initial amount, so each year's results must stand on their own. This allows you to see how strategy performs under different market conditions. The next row, shaded in yellow, is a cumulative result of the entire backtest, again, based on resetting the account at the beginning of each year analyzed. Once you know the strategies you're going to trade and your parameters are set, EasyTrade will then start sending you specific trades that meet those parameters directly to your inbox or mobile device. If you see a trade that looks interesting, you simply click on its symbol and you are taken to a detailed analysis report which summarizes all the information that has been analyzed by EasyTrade. At this point, all you have to do is decide whether or not you want to put the trade on for the next day. If you're filled, you simply manage the trade based on the rules you developed using EasyTrade's powerful analysis tools. For me, this is truly life-changing. All of a sudden, most of the time spent in front of the computer is spent managing actual trades instead of looking for trades to put on. This gives you a lot more time to do all the things you were promised when we were first told about the advantages of becoming a self-directed investor. So to summarize, this new generation of tools developed by EasyTrade presents a real opportunity for the self-directed investor. The system for building your personalized trading system is easy to use and highly customizable. After you've built that trading system and backtested it, you are no longer subject to daily paralysis of analysis. You just set it and forget it until such time you think market conditions have changed and you need to make an adjustment to your system. And using EasyTrade's proprietary probability analysis, you can finally be the house, playing odds that give you a competitive advantage over general market wisdom. Thank you for visiting EasyTrade.com. As a bonus for watching this presentation, EasyTrade is offering a $100 coupon off the subscription price of their tools. Simply enter this coupon code during the checkout process and it will be applied to your price. And unlike option positions, this coupon has no expiration. Thank you again, and happy trading. For more information or to subscribe, please visit our website at www.easytrade.com following this presentation. Please read all disclaimers carefully before making your decisions. Thank you.